YouTube, welcome. Welcome to a long playthrough of many games. Let me give you guys some music. This is my favorite game series of all time. I never knew these games were really connected, aside from just being the Legend of Heroes and all that. When I first learned of the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, first, second, and third chapter, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I learned of Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure. I'm like, okay. But this is back when Index was Baby Brain Index. This is back in the PSP era, Baby Brain Index era.
I'm still in that era.
Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Hi, Lon Nolan. After playing through Trails of Cold Steel on my own, before I became a VTuber, I'm like, holy frackadoodle daisy. These games are all connected. So, I really want to go back through them and play them all. All of them. All currently available 11 games. Trails in the Sky 1, 2, and 3. The Crossbell Arc 1 and 2. The Erebonia Arc 1, 2, 3, 4. Trails Unto Dawn. No, Trails into Reverie. Trails Unto Dawn is a different game. And then when they finally come out, the Calvard Arc.
Calvard!
Also, Lon Nolan, thank you for the first time chat, and let me be the first to say, don't be alarmed by any of the strange voices you hear coming from me. My name is Index Page, and I am a 15 years strong voice actor. And I love flexing my vocal cords. Which one was Cold Steel? That had Reem. That had Reem and the Academy phase. So,
that's games 6 through 11. No, 10.
Yeah. So this is the Liberal arc. This is the very beginning of the story. Now, if you don't know, if you look down here at the bottom left hand of the screen, this series originally started in 2004.
20 years this year.
Lon, you and I are gonna get along great. Fee is best girl. Fee is best girl.
Funny and overpowered.
Honestly, her first introduction where everyone gets sent down the slant and she's just ninja rope.
Nah.
She's just like,
I know exactly what kind of character you're gonna be.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of text. Oh yeah, they do.
So, because these games have a lot of text, and because I'm going to be focusing on the strategy and hard difficulty playthrough, I have with me a guest who will help with the reading and help with hey Index, you're being dumb, you're missing a side quest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Turk, long name ThemTurk217. Don't worry about the 217. That's just holdover from when I made my original little account on YouTube in 2010. And I thought numbers were cool. I play through a lot of RPGs and platformers over on my own stream stuff. I actually just wrapped up E7 last night because after I finished playing through these games myself last year, I was like, I need more Falcom! And then I marathoned through 1 through 7, which is actually 13 games.
That's a lot. I have never really touched the Ys series, but I do know that there was a crossover fighting game.
Yeah, that's actually the main character of the Crossbell Trails games debuted in that as a little hidden character thing. And apparently he was good in it. I don't know, I haven't played Alternative Saga myself yet.
The only thing I know about the Crossbell arc, because we've never gotten to play it English-wise, is Lloyd attracts nothing but morosexual people.
Yeah, he do.
Lloyd is the epitome of, oh my god, read a fucking clue. And Reen is kind of like that, but watered down a little bit so that it's palatable. But it is super nice that all the main characters share traits, but they all differentiate from each other. The only thing I know about Estelle is from this anime opening where she's running at a dude in a suit and she tries to jump him and he just slow kicks her.
Yeah, that's the movie they did. That's an adaptation of part of the second game.
That scene still makes me laugh. She's like doing her supercharge. She runs at him. He's just like, nah.
Bonk.
All right, guys. I think it's time we get into the game.
Private Maverick, yeah, that's Ys 3 Wanderers from Ys. That's the one they remade into Oathfell Ghana on the PSP, which I'd still argue is one of the 3 best games in the series.
So, when I was looking at the difficulties, you have normal. There is no easy mode. This is before easy mode. Easy mode comes if you lose the fights a lot, and the game's like, hey, do you want to like lower the difficulty? You're kind of sucking a lot of butt here. Usually, what happens to people fighting McBurn?
My brain just went, what if these games eventually introduce an easy difficulty that's spelled YS-Y, where it just changes the combat entirely?
Hard difficulty is what we're going to be playing on, because Nightmare is for people that are having New Game Plus file.
Yeah, you really... There's some games you can tackle Nightmare first if you're really aware of how the building works. Kuro 1, which is the first Calvert game, you could do that in. I'd argue you could even probably do it in Reverie, but the earlier ones, no.
God, the classic art! The classic art and sprite work. Oh, I'm already fangirling!
Oh, baby Estelle.
Daddy's really late. I even got a message from the guild saying he'd be home today, too. It's also amazing to see like how the graphics and artwork has developed over the years. Because, again,
honestly, I miss these
20
sprites.
years strong meta-narrative. All the games are connected story-wise.
The worst-looking graphics in this are the things like the little sprites like the food on the table. Like, those just didn't up-res right. I actually really like the PlayStation 1-styled sprites and models for the environments.
Exactly. And Cher has gone traveling around the kingdom on some kind of training. I'm so bored. Maybe I'll just practice with my staff a bit more before dinner.
Hey, I'm home.
Daddy! Out of context, that would sound weird. just Turk saying, I'm home. Daddy!
Sorry to kept you waiting, Estelle.
There he is.
The
Yes.
man himself. Did you take good care of the house while I was away? I've seen an edit that makes him shaved, and it looks wrong.
Why? Why would
They
you
peeled
look at
him.
that glorious mustache? Why would you do that to that glorious mustache?
I think it was specifically the EVO art too, because they remade the first 5 games in the series for the Vita with extra quests and added voice acting. And it was it
Of course
feels
I
weird.
did. Did you run into any trouble, Daddy? You didn't get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you?
Nope, I'm as fit as a fiddle. That reminds me though, I brought you a present.
Really? What kind of present?
It's a child.
A new fishing pole? Sneakers? Something for my training? In case it isn't obvious, Estella's a tomboy. She is like the stereotypical anime tomboy.
Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle. Aren't little girls supposed to like clothes and jewelry?
I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. And jewelry breaks when you go play outside with it on. Anyway, Daddy, what's the big blanket? Is that my present?
Oh, you're a sharp one. Now, why don't you come have a look?
I got you an adoption.
God, looking at his classic art is just so different.
He's a baby.
I cannot wait until we see them again in Trails of Cold Steel 4 when they get their glow-up art.
Oh, man.
But the classic art style is just... like, you can tell when this game was made from the artwork. What?
Well, here you are. What a handsome boy, don't you think?
Why is my present a boy?
Don't make such a fuss or you'll wake him up.
Wake him up, you mean he's still alive? What? Did you think he brought you a corpse?
Here,
It's a corpse.
Practice necromancy, child. Go, do a crime.
Look looks kind of dead if you ask me.
I've treated his wounds, so he should be in stable condition. In the meantime, however, we need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed, so if you wouldn't mind heating a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it.
The good thing, though, I'm gonna break, like, the time just one more time. Once we get to the Cold Steel series, we will not have to do as much reading.
Oh, yeah, because they actively started just having real voice work.
Yeah.
In fact, when Trails of Cold Steel 3 was coming out, they went back and gave Cold Steel 1 and 2 more English voice acting.
Yeah. On the PC release of Cold Steel 1 and 2, there's a lot more voice acting in it.
I think it's also in the PlayStation 4 release, but I might be wrong about that.
Because those games originally... Cold Steel 1 and 2 originally came out on the Vita, right?
Yes.
And that was a system.
Yeah, I've always kind of wanted to own one, but...
I've owned one, don't. It was a mistake. Okay. Like, the Vita's only good for, like, super obscure dungeon crawling, shovelware, borderline hentai games.
Conception 2.
I'm not joking. Most of the games on the PS Vita market are just shovelware JRPGs with dungeon crawl mechanics and, like, cutaway images to super ecchi, like, stuff. That's it. That's all the Vita is nowadays. He sure sleeps soundly. And he almost looks the same age as me. This is the first time I've ever seen black hair like that, too.
He certainly does have a nice head of hair. Of dark hair, rather. And a pair of amber eyes to go with it.
Joshua's eyes are pretty. That's nice and all, but how about you come clean and fess up?
Fest up?
Yeah, who is this kid anyway? And why is he hurt? Why did you bring him to our house? Is he an illegitimate child or something? Did you betray mommy? Oh my god, I forgot about this part. I forgot about this part.
Estelle is the funniest character from Frame 1.
She's trying to use words.
You tell mommy nothing.
You can tell how young she is just because she can't pronounce certain words.
A baby. Where have you been picking up these kind of words?
Shara?
No doubt from Sherazade, I assume.
Oh my god, you got her name right first try.
I love this series.
Everybody take a drink.
Get someone's name wrong.
Everybody take a drink. Whenever Sherazade's name is pronounced properly, take a drink.
So is our goal not to kill them?
Drink water, you idiots. Please note that I only condone drinking water when it's a drinking game. Oh, also, sorry for the sudden ad break. Yep, that's right.
For heaven's sake, that girl's gonna get me into trouble one of these days with all of her nonsense.
Oh, sorry, Cat. Did I yell too loudly?
Oh, aren't you disturbed a fur baby?
My cat just went, "Ah!" Actually, I just met this boy while I was out on business. And I don't even know his name.
Really? You mean bracer business?
Something like that.
So funny thing about the bracers, they're the backbone and concept for the expediters in my light novel I'm working on. Like the concept.
They're a concept I wish was used more when it comes to adventure type stories where you just have not quite the usual guild setting, but something that is like a good version of that.
So for anyone interested, we will be finding out about this, but bracers are essentially licensed mercenaries in a way, but they're also like fixers, like John Everyman. They're handymen. They can Like, hey, I've got a problem with a monster ransacking my store. But the monster's been taken care of. Can you help us with repairs? Or, hey, we have a super dangerous bandit organization outside the town. Can you take care of them for us?
Can you go change some light bulbs for us in this cave?
How many braces
Does it take to change a light bulb?
At
Licensed
least one.
adventurers, yeah.
Oh, look.
Yes, it is what Reciteer does. And I took the concept of bracers and adapted them to the light novel I'm working on called No More Witches. But I changed the name to Expediters because their whole concept is to try and find the quickest and safest way for humanity to find habitable land again. Huh?
He's waking up.
Oh my god!
Wow, his eyes really are the color of amber. I can feel the edge coming off of him.
Where am I? So you're awake now, are you?
You got caught at the border, huh? Just got the Skyrim again.
Finally awake. Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please, just try to rest. What are you trying to pull?
Huh?
You must be out of your mind. Why didn't you just leave me there to die?
Ow, the edge!
Why? Now that's a question I actually don't know how to answer. Does things just worked out that way work for you? Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright! Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in?
Hey!
Just beat a half-dead child, Estelle.
You're shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is just gonna make it take longer for your body to heal.
And just who are you supposed to be?
Your future wife! I'm Estelle! Estelle Bright!
She's my daughter. Don't you remember me telling you that I have a daughter your age? Now you mention it. Wait a minute! Don't try and change this up! Ow!
Quit yelling!
Alright already.
Now go to sleep before I put the pillow over your face.
But you jumping on me like that isn't gonna make me heal any faster either.
I don't hear you yelling again, do I?
God, yonder
Estelle.
Estelle.
Look, jumping on me like that is just going to make things worse.
Do I hear Y-E-L-L-I-N-G?
Never mind. Just forget it. As a word of advice, it would be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house.
Yeah, this guy's one of the strongest people in the country, and he's scared of his daughter.
Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough. Yeah, I can see that.
By the way, aren't you forgetting something?
Huh?
Where's the rent?
You better start working, boy.
Your name! You know that thing people call you? I told you mine already, so don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours?
It seems like the logical thing to do, if you ask me. Trying to hide it now would only serve you to your detriment. Fine. My name is...
John Cena!
My name is Fade to Black, oh no!
Opening cutscene? We gotta watch. We gotta watch.
Yeah,
There's the harmonica. And here comes my favorite song in the entire series.
It's up there for me. This takes me back to just about 2 years ago is when I started playing these games. Went through 1 through 3 really fast, then I waited for the official releases for 0 and Azure. Then I marathoned Azure to Cold Steel 4 in like 2.5 months.
Yeah. God, this is just a nostalgia trip. 20 years in the making.
What's really weird is I've also gone on my way to play the games before, or at least some of the games before this, in the Legend of Heroes moniker at least. And, wow, you can see the roots of what would become even in those ones.
Also, this is like kind of stop motion animation at this point because they weren't as big as they are. Like,
yeah, some of the later games,
Falcom was close to going bankrupt when this game came out. This was like their Hail Mary. So, fun fact, this game was their Hail Mary because they were banking on the Legend of Heroes series. There he is. They were banking on the Legend of Heroes series making a comeback for them. This is actually the Legend of Heroes 5.
6.
Oh, it's the Legend of Heroes 6. There were 5 Legend of Heroes games before this, and they were like a major competitor against Final Fantasy and other big JRPGs. But they wanted to do something that differentiated them from other big JRPG series, and this was like their big gamble. This was either this makes us some sales, or
we die.
We bankrupt, we go under, you all lose your jobs. So they decided to do something that was kind of like looked at oddly because the whole concept of what they wanted to do with a giant meta-narrative that has spanned 20 years now in terms of gaming has paid off for them. This series has gone from something that hardly anyone knows about to one of the most beloved JRPG series worldwide. Even more so in Japan.
I was a de facto Final Fantasy guy until about 2/3 of the way through Azure, where I just had to sit back and go, I like this more than Final Fantasy. Sorry, FF.
Like, Final Fantasy is great and all, but each one is its like own contained story. These games are interconnected with one another. Like, once we get the Trails of Cold Steel and all that, there will be many characters that are mentioned. There will be many stories that are mentioned. There will be many callbacks to the previous games. Because these stories are all... It's one story. It still is not done. And I just...
Like, it says a lot where there's a character name dropped as early as the 3rd game that doesn't actually show up until the 11th.
Exactly.
Are
we both thinking of the Grandmaster?
I'm thinking of 6 of those letters.
I do know that the Grandmaster is name dropped a lot, but she did not make her official screen appearance until the 11th game. This is a character that is mentioned throughout many of the games. Does not get a screen appearance for 20 years almost. Anyways, time for Teenage Estelle. It's so bright in here.
Mood. This is why I have light blockers.
I slept like a rock. And the one problem I'm going to have with this game is no Master Quartz.
Yeah, going back to the Sky Era building is going to be a little rough.
Also, like, you cannot place, you can't place crystals outside of their color. You have to go with the builds we give you for these characters. You can't mix match.
And especially you can't put multiples of a single quartz line on the same orbit. That's especially
so the
rough.
the thing I like about Cold Steel is you can mix and match your quartz, and when you get like a colored slot, you can get a bonus for putting the proper color in there. But other than that, you can build out the lines how you want and like customize your characters, right? In this one, it's more like these characters have set classes. You build them how we want you to. Hi, Mr. Underground. What's up, Mr. Underground? I'll leave you all that last one. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. There it is.
Oh, the harmonica.
Whoops.
And thus all sound was removed from the world.
Time
The
stopped.
harmonica
I
spell
lost
was
focus
cast.
on the window. Oops. I still haven't murdered him. Well, I guess I better get myself ready then too. Also, that harmonica tone just. I like that the song he's playing is the actual opening song, but like use an leitmotif with another instrument.
I love that song so much.
Also, the camera work in this game, for the graphics of the time, for PSP graphics, it does really well. Like you don't see the models snap. Like in a lot of JRPGs on the PSP and all that, when you would rotate the camera, sometimes the character models would snap after the camera moved, right? This game does really well at making sure that like the character models are rendered right there in 3D, and the camera rotates around them. Like from a technical aspect, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, they do good about. It's weird looking back at this after playing the Ease games in this same engine afterwards.
Also, Lon,
Where I
thank you
go.
so much for the Prime sub.
They really ironed out a lot of stuff between games.
Remember, y'all, if you ever want to avoid ads on the channel, and you have Amazon Prime, you can use that on this channel or any of your favorite channels on Twitch for free.
Make sure to use your Bezos bucks and support the streamers. Good morning, Estelle. I hope I didn't wake you.
No, I was already up when I heard you start to play. I can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind, what with that siren song of yours gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber.
What do you mean, woman? We're the same age and I'm hardly a man.
You have signed your death warrant.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. How wrong you are, Joshua.
The camera fades to black and you just see Joshua's sprite fall into the lake behind the house.
We may be the same age, but I am clearly the woman of the house. And that makes you something like my loyal follower, wouldn't you agree? You're my bitch.
Yeah, how fortunate for you.
I forget, do these games have save points, or can you save anytime? I forgot if it's that era.
They have rest points, so like the things you investigate to heal, but you can save at any point.
Okay. It really is a nice tune, though. Cheerful, yet somehow wistful. I like your other songs, too, of course, but this one's my favorite. Almost like it's the overall theme of the game. What's it called again?
The Whereabouts of Light.
That's right, the Whereabouts of Light. I wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Harmonica's really actually hard to play.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people went through a phase at specifically the age of 7 or 8 after seeing a movie where someone played one well, and they're like, I want a harmonica to play.
For me,
And
that
we
was
all
college
stopped.
age.
Mine was a weird one because I think I got mine at like some gift shop in Maine. So it was a lobster claw shaped harmonica made of really cheap, shitty plastic.
Oh god.
I also had an
But-
ocarina phase.
I have an Ocarina of Time ocarina somewhere there next to my my Master Grade Alex Gundam, and it's a weird little shelf over there.
Oh, Gunplars! I would love to get into Gunpla, but I don't have the space for them.
Yeah, space and time are a big thing with those. It's really just a matter of concentration.
Just like
And calling
Gunpla.
us out, Joshua.
You're probably right. I guess my problem is just that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy.
Ah, you got SBD, sleepy bitch disease. What did you just call me? Nothing.
Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? All your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff like reading and music. No girl is gonna be impressed with just that.
Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Although I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collects bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes?
That's enough talk about hobbies for now. And for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago.
Really? I'll believe that when I stop finding beetles in the hallway. Hey, Estelle! Joshua!
Morning, Dad!
Morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't the both of you hurry on down before it gets cold?
Okay.
I'm on my way.
I still don't have HC to move around in the game, by the way. As soon as we can, I'm gonna be saving.
Yeah.
Because sometimes this game likes to crash. Thanks for the grub,
Yeah,
Dad.
I had at least one case of that.
And for me, I had one of those big crashes in Trails of Cold Steel 3, where it was one of those, like, fight cutscene, fight cutscene, fight cutscene.
Oh, no.
And there was no save point between. And I just
I think I had a crash tied to turbo mode being turned on, like, a third of the way through.
exactly,
Cold Steel
and
3.
that's exactly why I had turbo mode on, because I'm like, okay, I gotta get through this fight, because I just realized what time it is, and fuck, it crashed.
The consistency of beating these games between the hours of 2 and 4 in the morning. Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle?
Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot.
Well, make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right, it'll be a review of everything we've learned up to this point.
Also, another fun thing oh, have fun lurking, Jeebus. Another interesting thing I like about this series. Despite the fact that they're roughly the same age when they're both introduced, like Estelle and Joshua are the same age as Rain when Rain is introduced. Granted that those two games happen like 5 years apart and all that, but
Yeah, the biggest jump we get for that is, I think, Van and Daybreak.
the thing is this: these two don't go to an academy or anything. Like
Homeschooling, baby!
They do learn. They do have an education. But education in Liberl is done differently than in Arabonia. Like, if you notice that, like,
Crossbell.
yeah, kids, Joshua and Estelle's age get education differently than kids Reen or Yuna's age, depending on where you are in Zemuria. Like, for how small Zemuria seems to be, and all that, it's interesting that you can see the culture differentiate between just these small borders. I'm sorry, I'm going to be geeking about this game a lot because, like I said, this is my favorite game series of all time.
So many little details. It's right now. I'm feeling like just looking at all these and hearing the music. I feel like the critic in Ratatouille taking a bite of the Ratatouille and just flashing
Turk.
back.
Also, these two don't have an interest in the military, where with the Cold Steel area, there are other schools in the military schools going by a lot of stuff we hear in the back. Exactly, Lon.
Yeah, because there's definitively like a music academy over in Arabonia that gets brought up a couple times.
Yeah, but the problem with Arabonia is once you get introduced to Arabonia, they're really pushing military academies because of a certain
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
Because of
I wonder who.
We're gonna be braces
Golden.
just like you, Dad. That means I'm not gonna let you treat me like a kid anymore.
I'm 40. You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning. In other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer.
Like the purple lightning. Well, I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you too.
Good luck with that. That's the spirit.
Those who know
Let's see what
versus
you
those
made
who
of it,
don't know.
Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We have a test later on today, remember?
Huh? Wait, what test?
That face she made.
Please tell me you didn't forget about the test, Estelle.
Small spoiler alert, Greelson? No. No, he's even in Trails of Gold Seal 4. He's still alive and kicking. Death is not something that happens willy-nilly in this game. This series treats death as a very important thing.
Yeah, this is one of those where...
Like, even
usually when you'll see, like... The closest comparison I can think of is the marketing hype for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, where we're going, who's gonna die, who's gonna die, who's gonna die. The series doesn't do that willy-nilly. It treats it like it's an actual event.
Yeah, and another thing, like, you will see a lot of villains be recurring villains, and, like, they will get their asses handed to them, and you'll be like, okay, so they're definitely gonna die. No, they teleport away, oftentimes. Because...
Same 10 next week? Gotcha.
A lot of times, some of the villains that show up in this game are like, you know what? I'm done playing with you for right now, because this game does have, like, that power creep, and it's like, oh, you really were just playing around until this point. Aryan Road was really just playing around with us until this point.
Oh, okay. Time for the
Where'd
real
all my
pain.
HP go? Oh, my party's dead.
Why is there a green border at the top of the screen? What are you talking about? That's my HP bar.
What do you mean that's your HP bar? It's going off the screen.
Uh-oh. Don't you remember Cher saying when we failed we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework?
Crap, I totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kind of remember remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it, I'm sure we'll manage somehow or other. Star.
I honestly don't know how you survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve.
Oh, okay.
Papa is sad.
Papa is sad.
How can a child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality?
But I just love that he's like, Papa is sad. Papa is upset with his children.
Cassius, look in a mirror.
Ha! You're the one that raised me, so I definitely got it from you. And it makes a lot of sense considering, like, without going into spoilers, considering who Cassius is.
Mm-hmm. I swear, the two of you are acting so much alike, but whatever.
Does he mention the 8 leaves, 1 blade in this game at all?
I think the earliest that gets mentioned is, if not this game, by one particular character, Sky 3rd.
Okay. So, without spoilers, Cassius is that guy. When you're talking about him, when you're talking about DNA tests and if they're 100% Himalayan, we're talking about Cassius. Cassius is him. He is that guy. He deserves that guy.
Himalayan. Oh, I was not ready for that.
Oh yeah, I got that from the Dracula Flow thing. It's like, I took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 110% Himalayan. I love those videos.
We should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle.
This shit don't mean nothing to me, man.
Shara's gonna be waiting there for us.
Sounds like a plan. You know how scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting, like a certain blonde guy? Also, I
Troy
like
Baker.
Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Also, this is another really, like, subtle fun fact I like. When it comes to anime tropes and all that, normally Estelle's character would be, like, the one that's bad at cooking.
She is a phenomenal cook.
Any requests?
Something I'd like to eat, huh? How about ruined style scalloped fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce?
Well, what's that?
I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle. Or our stomachs. Yeah, right, I just wanted to see what kind of reaction I could get.
And this is the kind of dad Cassius is.
I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelet. Cassius doesn't make dad jokes because he makes other dads look like jokes. Don't eat praise and fancy, but do try to make something edible.
How rude, but I can't actually say he's wrong.
Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out.
Like, she's not a terrible cook in, like, the lines of Yor in Spy X Family, but she's decent at it enough that it doesn't become a trope. And I like that about her.
She has her specialties. In fact, when you get, it's in this game technically, but it's nowhere near as in-depth as later ones. Basically, anyone in this series can cook, but every dish recipe, someone in specific is really good at that recipe and can make a unique one. And then there's someone who's on the opposite and who'll make a trash one.
Yeah, like, in terms of presentation and, like, cooking skill and all that, some of these characters like, hey, I'm a 3-star Michelin chef with this dish. Oh, you want me to make that? It's gonna have to be censored.
I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods store.
At least she is not like Laura in her issue with any technology. Oh god, the scene where Laura learns how to use a washing machine. Got it, 1 copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods store. Receipt 500 Mira. In case it wasn't
money
obvious.
left over, you can have it as your allowance.
In case it wasn't obvious, Mira is the money here. Like Zenny, Zenit, Cashola. No wasteful spending, huh? I'm gonna spend it on a weapon.
Go, child. Do a crime. Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Sherazade my regards.
He said it right. He said it right. Everybody take a sip of water.
I said regards wrong even, but I got her name right.
When I first
this
played this
guy,
game on the
Eric
PSP, I read that as bitch staff. 10-year-old me was an idiot.
The PSP version of this, like that was full of some mistranslations to the point where some character names were wrong. So I'm wondering how many of these were handled right.
So we've got Morale and Pummel, Doll Strike and Sever. But here's one thing I wanted to show you, booklets. This is like the core mechanic of the Trails games. You have these things called ordnance, which are essentially like little pocket watches. You can put quartz in them and they will allow you to channel different magical energies because there is magic in the world, but true magic is dead. True magic is gone. You don't have people naturally casting fireballs. You have to put a fire quartz in your ordnance and use that ordnance as your channel focus to cast a fireball. And here in the Sky series, you've got characters where it's like, oh, you can only put time quartz in here. Fuck.
I did not understand how this system worked until I had the friend who got me into these games had to like bring me into a Discord call when I was getting ready for I think either the end of Sky 2 or early Sky 3 and explain it.
Also, I super
the
love
game
this.
does a bad job explaining it.
They have drawn out their world map since day one, and you can see like they've put thought into the world map from day one.
It's so funny looking back because this area looked so big at the start, and now I look back and like, man, Liberal's a tiny fucking place.
Yeah, compared to Erebonia and Calvard.
Yeah.
So we've got Hawking Gate up there, which splits Liberal and Erebonia. But this is the only area we'll be in for this entire trilogy.
Oh god, the old tactics menu. Oh my god, that just took me back. Holy crap.
I did try to play this originally, like several years ago, as you can see here, but I never really got back to it because I got into Cold Steel at that point. But now we're gonna play through this whole series again. Who's in the lead here?
I just remembered the one thing that's going to get really annoying since it's back in this one. But we'll talk more about that once we start seeing encounters in the field.
Oh, by the way, there is a speed up button. This is natural speed.
I want to say here in Sky Trilogy, that does technically also speed up the in-game timer, so your end-game time can be a little skewed by that, but like Steam reflects it properly.
Yeah.
I think they didn't fix that properly until CS.
Also, if I press any weird buttons, I'm still trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, it's like if memory serves, the menu button in this is at least on a PlayStation controller.
The circle button.
It was the square button. Oh, it's circle in this one?
Yeah. In terms of PS PlayStation controller setup, it is the circle button or the B button for the Xbox controller setup.
Okay, so in Crossbell, it's square, and then at Cold Steel on, it's triangle.
That's
so
the one. That's my one fucking complaint about this game series.
There's
also,
one that especially messes with me personally, where with the battle menu in the Crossbell games into the first two Cold Steels, they swapped which direction your arts and your physical moves were in from each other.
I hate that. Also, I do like that we have a little mini-map up here, in case I get lost. Which I will very much get lost. Oh, another thing, we've got Selge as our, I don't know if you know it off the top of your head, but, what are the words again? Selge. They have their own method of referring to stuff, but they're synonymous with metrics. So like meters, kilometers, stuff like that, as opposed to feet, yards, miles.
Alright, so there's ridge, which is the base thing of length, so that's about a centimeter. Arge, which is that as well, but that's like a meter. There's Serge, which I think is 100 meters. And then there's another thing for weight, but I don't remember because it only comes up in like 2 or 3 cases in the voice dialogue.
Right. Thankfully, there's no monsters here yet.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Solo. Welcome on in. Oh, hi, Mark.
The old towns, they're so cute.
Yeah.
It looks like we made good time.
It's only been 47 minutes.
Not too early or too late either.
Again, it's only been 47 minutes, Joshua. We just barely graduated from Sunday school. I never dreamed we'd have to study so hard to become bracers. So, in this world, Sunday school is kind of like for basic education and all that until you get like to high school age. At which point, it's up to you like how you want to pursue your education. Like how in Arabonia, you've got the military academies, you've got music school, art school, and all that. Whereas in Liberal, a lot of times you got kids wanting to be bracers.
Yeah, like it'll teach you your basic mathematics, history stuff, especially relevant to the area you're in, writing and all that.
However, with how classical the education system is and all that, this world is very much a great mix of steampunk, industrial revolution, and futurism. Depending on where you're looking at. Like, if you're looking at Crossbell, that makes this place look like it's 500 years in the past.
Yeah, if memory serves, like, I think Crossbell in specific is heavily based off Hong Kong.
Yeah. Like, each area is based off of a different, kind of region in the real world, without beating you over the head with it.
Yeah. The most direct they get with it is probably Arabonia on the whole. Truth be told, though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place, so I don't know why you'd expect to get away with any less effort.
Oh, yeah, I guess I did. Alright then. Let's get to it and make it through this last hazing from Shara.
You look ready to me. Let's go meet with Shara at the Bracer Guild over there, then.
I cannot stop geeking. Also, it's time for everybody's favorite thing in this type of games. Let's see if there's any free treasure chests. Good morning, Mr. Renan.
Hello there, Estelle and Joshua. You're up rather early today. Did you come to buy a new pair of shoes?
Now that you mention it, are there any new ones in stock?
Give me my goddamn Jordans.
Oh god, Strigas are like Doc Martens in this world. It's
unbelievable.
If
You've
you can
actually
get some
already
Strigas,
forgotten why we came here to begin with. We're not here to shop. We're supposed to be buying a copy of the liberal news for Dad, right?
Of course.
You've always been a big collector of those shoes, haven't you, Estelle? Almost like you're a slave to the brand. I'm afraid the new Strigas aren't out yet, so you go get fucked. If you're after the latest issue of the Liberal News, though, I should have them around noon.
Noon, huh? That's right in the middle of our training with the guild house.
We'll stop by again after our training's over.
Sure, I'll be waiting for you. Please don't loot my house. And there they
No,
fucking
not my
go.
house! My nest egg!
No treasure chests. I'll be back, old man.
No!
Oh, the Orbital Factory, pretty cool. We're not spending any money yet, but I just
Welcome
like
where
wanna.
you're gonna be spending most of your money at the least.
Yeah.
Until we find some proper out in the field.
In your case, Estelle, it's not whether the orb is good or bad. The problem lies in the way you use it. You're always jumping into things without a second
Yeah.
thought, so you'd end up with those being slow to learn.
Blah 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 tutorial. Shut up, Joshua.
Well, damn. Excuse me. I'm Johnny Young Bosch.
Been a good while. Oh, I've been good. We're just playing some Trails of the Sky. First chapter.
Yeah, whatever.
I forget. What chapter does Purple Hair You Know Who get introduced?
Purple hair, you talking about liberal purple hair?
Liberal Purple Hair.
I'm
not talking about Maid Purple Hair.
I think I think that should be chapter 2.
Okay, so the adoption of You Know Who is not until the second chapter. Okay, yeah. It's basically telling you, hey, dumbass, go to the story. Go to the fucking story. You can't get side quests yet. Fine.
I would laugh if they had a bad ending where you missed your appointment and you just never became a junior bracer. It's like, well, you gotta try again in a month. And then all of history was rewritten.
Let's see. Lodgings, Septian Church, Mayor's Residence, Milch Main Road, Landing Port, Malga Trail. No, not that a different Una. This is basically like a little shop for, I forget. Thankfully, cooking isn't a big thing in this game, as it is, for Reen and all that.
Yeah, I think it starts being really useful in like 0. I know! Oh my god!
There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Ina.
Good morning.
God, I'm already starting to feel it in my throat because I'm just geeking so much. I'm sorry we haven't done a lot of gameplay so far, but like, this is my hyperfixation. I could go on for hours and hours about this world and how characters are interconnected and all that.
You know that meme that went around, I guess not even really a meme, more of a image format that went around towards the end of last year where it was like the months of the year and people listing what their hyperfixation was each month?
Yeah.
For me, it was like, I think Yakuza, something else. Then the moment March hit, trails
Have you
the rest of the
ever have you ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
year. To an extent, I haven't
This is
watched
my
any
Pepe
of the more
Sylvia.
recent ones.
This is my fucking Pepe Sylvia.
How the fuck is Pepe Sylvia?
I love how they gaslit him that whole fucking episode.
We owe a thanks to Danny DeVito's child for being a fan of the first season and wanting Danny to be in it, and then he became a series regular.
Also, one of my favorite things about this, like, you can't get your side quests until you get a journal. Until you get the bracer license journal, you can't get side quests. It's like, hey, you can't write shit down on paper without this
Officially brand licensed journal. We have branding.
It's all about the branding. We gotta get our advertising in.
There she is.
Here she is! Here she is!
Get the nut button ready.
Not.
I'm just imagining that rats. We are the rats, but it's not.
The Star and the Hanged Man. I forget what her voice actor voice is. Oh, I don't want to die. I want to do her justice. The Hermit and the Magician. And last of all, Inversion through the Wheel of Fortune. Also, her weapon of choice is a whip, if I remember. So, like, she hits a lot of different things on the checklist.
What? Oh, I just made connections I never did looking at BTVA. What the fuck do you mean her English VA is Kawakami in Persona 5?
Huh?
Oh.
I do know that the VA for our lovely future teacher is, Twin Mordens.
Yeah.
And also Lux in League of Legends. Good morning, Shara. We're here for our tutorial. Also, I'm really taking my time in this opening sequence because, like, as a kid, I just kind of rushed through this without really paying attention to everything and all that. Like, there's, for a PSP era game, there's a lot of, like, small details in the background that you could be like, this place is a really, really lived-in guild and all that. Like, you could tell with the paint stripping on the wall in the back and, like, all the different posters and stuff, like, with the torn paper of, like, okay, this problem quest has been taken care of, time to take it down. And, like, this is years of use here. Like, you can tell that, like, a lot of concerted effort went into designing set pieces in this game. Like, art is amazing. Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I don't think you want to say that to your teacher, Estelle, but, it's your funeral. Joshua's probably just gonna watch. I'm ready to get the show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm. But I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already.
Quiet you.
Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out of your ears like it usually does. Oh.
Like I said earlier, her brain's like a sieve.
Joshua! Shara's picking on me!
Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely never does her homework, X rashly is overly naive and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything.
Shara! Joshua's picking on me!
Her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an orbit with some practice. Eventually. Probably.
That's where I got this from! Okay, I just had a core memory awoken. You know how a lot of times when I'm doing something and, like, doing, like, a comedic bit, and I'm like, oh yeah, sure, we'll get to it eventually. Probably. Maybe. Possibly. This is where I got it from! This is where I picked up that little verbal tick of mine. Hi, Senpai! God, this game did a lot more for me than anyone can imagine.
We'll get to the games that done a lot for me, because, oh man, Crossbell.
I've never touched Crossbell and I can't wait to get to it.
I'm so excited!
I can't wait to adopt Kia. Oh, thank you, Senpai. Hold on a second, Joshua. So I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me.
Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described you all your best traits accurately.
The fucking shade being thrown.
That is the face of a man who does not fear his death.
Whatever. By the way, Shara, what are you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards?
Now, that's surprising to hear.
Oh, pardon me. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. Oh no, this totally isn't a MacGuffin that's gonna be super, super important later.
Catch the fuck up, players. We're teaching you stuff.
Tutorial time! About ordnance.
I want to. Why does it look crunchy? I want to eat it.
It does look crunchy. Then again, this is 2004. This is 2004 3D rendering. Ordnance are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbal energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and type of quartz or process septium and so on. This is the one thing I like about this world as well. As opposed to like using fossil fuels or like burning wood or trees and stuff like that, you've got this like naturally occurring mineral that after being used up and like kind of gets reduced to dust sometimes, it will eventually regrow. Because it's kind of like life essence that flows through the world and will eventually seep back into the rocks, right?
Yeah, something about
You've
that.
got electricity powered by these crystals, you've got trains powered by these crystals, you've got stoves powered by these crystals, you've got magic devices powered by these crystals, and in some cases, chainsaw machine guns wielded by red-headed bastard children.
Hey, be nice.
No, fuck Testarossa. Fuck that lady. She fucked me up enough.
I like her cold steel design, though. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention. These devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. This technological reform is commonly known as the Orbal Revolution. So yeah, we are in what is essentially a magical industrial revolution, thanks to the power of these crystals that gets faceted into different things that grants power to them. Like you've
Yes,
got,
this will be on the test.
yeah, you've got wind and space quartz that help move airships around, fire and water quartz for like faucet heating systems and all that. Like these things do a lot.
They do a fucking lot.
And they're like a good, clean energy source too. I can just go through this, but I want the booklets to learn. Would you like to read this?
Sure. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region.
And now the
How did you do that with your voice, Shara? Don't worry about it.
Just the next time, it's just Professor Oak from Pokemon Snap. The Liberal Kingdom in which we live sits on the western half of the Zemurian continent, and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. You were close. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent, and is known for its high level of technology used to develop ordnance. Ordnance technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence, and has as it has contended with neighboring nations, like Erebonia. 10 years
Speaking of which-
ago, when the Burl was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, the Burl enjoys peace. About that.
I'm sure nothing will happen. What are you talking about?
Let's see, since we got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training, almost like this is a tutorial. Shara? What do you mean a tutorial? Practical training!
Gameplay, gameplay, gameplay.
I think this is more Shara being like, I know Estelle's not going to remember fucking jack all on a written test. Let's have her get some physical stuff in, because she's a physical girl.
Meanwhile, Joshua holding a stack of exams as tall as him, all with 100s on them.
That's a good dichotomy between them.
Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheery.
Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Oh yeah, fishing.
Fishing is
oddly
super
enough,
important in some of the later ones.
every single one of the main characters becomes a master fisherman.
Sometimes even beyond master. Sometimes they're a fishing god.
Yeah. That is actually a thing. I forgot about that, Nolan. It's time! It's time for our
Handbook.
licensed brand name books! Okay, bye.
This. I'm surprised they let you do that.
I actually tried to just fucking peace out. Brace your notebook. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs, as opposed to any other regular notebook. These are official notebooks in which they have our branding on them. You may not write anything except brand name jobs inside your brand name notebook.
There's a lot of knockoffs with the gauntlets upside down. If we catch you with one of those, we get to sue you for everything you're goddamn worth.
We'll break your goddamn ankles.
My leg benders!
Zen! Zen! This is one
Hello,
of my...
Zen!
It's Zen! Zen no Kiseki is another big fan of this series. If only Boomer were here. If only Boomer were here, right? Absolutely. Thank you, Zen. These kinds of trivial things can often become clues. So, yeah, this is one of the things that Turk is here for. This game does not give you hints as to, like, where side quests are. There are no icons on the map. Like, there's no way for you... Like, some side quests, you will be able to be given, like, at a guild hall and all that. But a lot of the times, it's like, hey, people might have jobs for you before they even realize that they are a guild job. And just hearing some random shit in town. This is one of those games where it's like, you have to go out of your way to find some of these.
And what makes that somehow even more annoying is this series is one of those where, even with the minorest plot note, NPC dialogue can completely change. So you have to sift through all that to find the actual side quest. On top of one of those, it's like, all right, you kick that rock to the side. 4 side quests are no longer possible.
Yeah. And Nolan makes a good point. Like, when I was playing Cold Steel, and I got through it, and it's like, you completed X out of Y side quests. I'm like, there were that many side quests? I looked up a guide for it, and I'm just like, holy fuck.
For Zero on my friend who got me into the series made a Word document for each game that had wherever the hidden quests were and when I could go do them.
Yeah, and another thing is, like,
thank
you could talk to NPC A, and they have nothing for you, and you go talk to NPC J, and they offhandedly mentioned something. Completely unrated to NPCA. And if you go back and talk to NPCA, by some freak chance, an NPCA is like, hey, this thing that this other person was talking about, I have a job for you. And you're like, what the fuck? So this game is not very hand-holdy in terms of finding side quests, because those side quests will get you some good shit.
That's actually one of the big things that people want out of a remake of this, considering we're at the 20th anniversary. Like,
Yeah.
It feels like if we get one of those, it'll be after Kai comes out later this year in Japan.
Yeah. And the one thing I'm really, one of the things I'm looking forward to is like once we get the master quests, like the side quests that are like, hey, you've completed all these side quests. Here's Thorin. Here's the fucking Thorin master quests. And like, finally.
Understood.
Sounds like it's gonna be a pain. Oh, please tell me, was it my ears playing tricks on me? Because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two.
Have a good night, Grilson.
Oh, good night, Grilson. The collection objectives. God, some of the minigame objectives in Cold Steel as well, where it's like, hey, you have to go backtrack to this one starting area at random to find this person to play cards against, otherwise you will not be able to get all the items in the game.
You're killing me here.
Not for nothing though, as annoying as some parts of the notebook are, I do like that it actively does update at every plot note, so you can always check it and figure out what your most recent thing was in case you take a break from the game.
Yeah.
Because that was a big problem in PS1 games, where it's like, oh, I haven't played in 2 weeks. What was I doing?
Yeah, that was one of the good things about this game, because like, also that happens in the Crossbell arc and Erebonia arc as well. Because Reen keeps his notes, and I think Lloyd keeps notes. You know, being a cop.
Yeah, so does Van. Everyone has their own little notebook of some sort. When the bulletin board is approached, mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display the job list. By selecting job names on the list, you can view their details. I'm the board voice. I'm talking to you.
I'm the board.
No one will ever believe you.
I'm the board. I'm the board.
If I recall correctly, so we've got
Estelle
strength,
can't read.
strength, defense, arts, which is just basically magic, arts, defense, speed, dexterity, agility, move, and range.
Yep.
So strength is physical strength with like crafts and basic attack, physical defense, magic attack. So these two are more physical-oriented characters. Joshua's a little faster, and he's going to become so much faster later. Dexterity is like their accuracy. Agility is critical rating.
I think it's either that or evasion.
One of the two. Because if I recall correctly, I had this Fee build where she had like 85% chance to dodge.
You can easily go up to 100 plus.
Yeah,
I think in Reverie I got up to like 120 on one character.
Well, the only way you could hit Fee was with magic. And move, because once we get to combat in this game, if we get into combat during this episode, this feels like a D&D podcast now. Move refers to like how far they can move in the battle, and range refers to like their attack range.
Their physical attack range. Crafts have their own individual range stuff to worry about.
I will say, I hated the accuracy stat in the Cold Steel games at times until I turned Fee into the evasion tank. Yep.
The fun thing was in Reverie, I think I had a team of 4 evasion tanks ready to go at any time, so and one of them had a master quartz, I believe, that could like absorb magic.
Oh my
so
god.
They were completely untouchable.
Okay, so training, retrieval, Sherazard. Did I say that right? Megazord. Client, Megazord. Pay 500 Mira. Details, direct request. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roland and bringing back the contents of a chest. Details of the job confirmed by the bulletin board or other important events will be automatically recorded in the Bracer notebook.
Bracer Notebook can be easily found by clicking on the Books tab on the Binders menu. You can also
Click
be
on
accessed
me.
by configuring the Bracer Book shortcut button on the Configuration menu.
Yeah, just click on my notes. Just give me a boop and I'll open up.
Duty.
Style.
Sure, there are lots of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for something much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude.
Yeah, I agree on that, Nolan. And when we do get to those games later on, I will not be using those super busted builds and all that, because I do want there to be some challenge. Unless I get fed up with a certain boss.
Yeah, there's two that come to mind. There's a strategy I use to completely ignore one boss over in Azure, and
There's one boss I want to ignore in this gameplay, in this entire series, and he runs a game show.
oh no.
You know who I mean.
Up, translation error, 0 out of 10 game, Minecraft better.
There are surprisingly few of those in the X-Seed era.
His that so? His? Guys, don't play this game, 0 out of 10. Minecraft better. Go play Minecraft Stories or something. Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha.
Meanwhile, Ina is getting her reps in, getting her extra steps for her Fitbit.
So, I think that's to show that they're alive, or at least, like, awake, and it's supposed to be breathing animation.
Oh yeah, and like every NPC does that. It's like how in the older Final Fantasies, NPCs just standing around would flip between left and right and left and right.
Yeah. Because if they just stood static, they would look like they don't belong in the scene.
Yeah, like once they go into the 3D stuff in Cold Steel, they just have subtle breathing animations.
Especially in Cold Steel 3 and 4, because those have much better graphics.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, time for the super tutorial. The game doesn't even explain that well.
Thankfully, we have multiple experts in the chat.
Yeah!
Because sometimes the courts will give you access to magic, sometimes they'll just give you stats, sometimes they'll do jack all. Because this game doesn't know what the fuck it wants to do yet.
Yeah, because just giving magic isn't until Cold Steel outright. In the first 5 games, it's entirely elemental value. Well, mostly. There's one case it's not.
Yeah, you have to reach a certain elemental value to unlock arts, and yeah, it's stupid.
It takes a lot of learning, and the game does not a good job of tutorializing it, because a lot of the information they want you to use is locked away in the Bracer Notebook, just out of sight enough that it's hard to find.
Yeah.
Without being told it's there.
At least in Cold Steel, where it's like, hey, you've got this fire quartz that grants you access to this certain level of fire spells.
Also, the ornament tutorial is literally the first thing you do with actual gameplay in that one.
Yeah. It's like, hey, we've got an entirely new system.
Learn.
Though I can't wait to get to Crossbell to get Master Quartz, because Master Quartz are like, hey, here's a way to change the character class a little bit.
Mr. Murders.
Yeah, I know. The shape of the fixed element is correctly there, and I realize that's layman's explanation. Every person is unique when they first get their ornament. Their ornament kind of like attunes to them. It's like, oh, you're clearly a time-based person. I have a special slot that's only for time quartz.
And then there's some people who in these games just have outright better ornaments because of how they're structured.
EP is needed for magic. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. Yeah. we're just gonna skip all this and get straight into it because you do a lot better learning it than with the explanations.
So I think in specific in the dialogue lettered here is the only time they outright state what EP stands for. I thought it was elemental points until I was told. Apparently it's energy points in specific.
Yeah. You got health points, energy points, craft points.
Upon
Also-
approaching a counter, a talk mark will appear. Press the OK button will display a list of options like modify or trade to use the Vorpal factory services.
I remember in my Cold Steel 3 playthrough, I had a lot of time and space quartz on hand, as opposed to any other element, and I needed some money, and I'm just like, I've got like 10,000 of each of these. Time to make a little bank. Time to make some bank.
Like, I think in every game, there's that one element I'm just incredibly short on. Like, I think when I was playing through Akuro 1 and 2, I was really short on Fire Sepith the
Don't
entire play.
fucking remind me. I was always short on wind.
Oh, Lon Nolan, the Valimar model's good.
I really want to get that.
It's a pain in the ass to paint, though, because the gold trim has to be done by hand.
So, you can... Some characters will have 2 or 3 lines. Estelle has 2 lines. She's got her base slot, right? You could start opening this slot if you had 3 of each of the 4 base elements. So there's earth, water, fire, air, time, space, and imaginary.
Mirage, yeah.
Mirage, I forgot. So they look like they're not that expensive to open up, but later on, the 50 of each becomes trivial. Or for example, Joshua's got 2 lines, but only 1 slot here. The further away you get from the base one, the more expensive they get.
And if memory serves, Sepith drops in Sky 1 are sad.
See,
I
want
wanna
to.
say.
So we have to make this for Joshua. We have to make this.
Speed plus 10%, and then he gets into his super attack phases.
And then we're going to make this for Estelle.
This series does something interesting I've always liked, where when you put something into a stat like an attack quartz, it does natively lower the opposite stat a little bit. So
yeah,
like strength.
So like you
minus
see
defense.
here, you increase your strength, but decrease your defense, as opposed to just increasing your defense. So then, here's the bracer book.
Yep, here, right all there, those magic pieces, these are the recipes for every spell for the elemental value along a line on an ornament, and you need to just look in here constantly.
So this is the one thing I never understood. Orbital Arts. You want to use Firebolt EX, you need 3 fire, 1 wind, and 1 earth quartz, right? But then you get to Volcanic Raven, it's like, oh, you need 8 fire quartz. What? How do I get 8 fire quartz when there's only 7 slots in my ornament?
Later variations of quartz do have higher values.
Yeah,
so
that's like, as a kid, I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Are these for New Game Plus exclusive?
Chaos brand.
I do like that there's only 1 imaginary spell right now.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of Mirage element stuff until, I think, even 0 in Azure.
Yeah, Mirage does not... I might make a water quartz in the event that I need to make some. Like,
Oh, it's the best in this, I feel like.
also, yeah, here
Mirage
we go. HP 1 is 1 water. HP 2 is 3 water. HP 3 is 5 water. And, like, these are different levels of quartz and all that. So, like, if...
God, I forgot how many elements the EP quartz were in this one. That's ridiculous.
So if we go into Joshua, I can slot Action 1. Where he gets Clock Up and Soul Blur. Just in case, I'm going to make 1 HP 1. I could give Estelle Firebolt, right? I'm gonna save this for later. Because we're definitely gonna need some water and Tier, because Tier, on hard mode, kind of fucking based.
Yeah.
We're gonna need healing. We're gonna need a lot of healing.
Casting's also just generally kind of ridiculous in Sky Era.
Hey, you want to wait 5 turns to cast?
Well,
Yes.
Oh, you want to cast your spell that's supposed to take 1 turn? Oh, 5 turns later. Yep. Okay, so we got
more
one.
Sepid.
So, okay, I'm gonna go into magic really quick. So I have Aqua Bleed. I can get Blue Impact. Also, I do like that there's not a lot of magic options in the first game, because in the second game, which is a continuation of the first game, it's like, oh, here's more magic, by the way, because we have power scaling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how in Cold Steel 1, you get to like around level 100, but by the end of Cold Steel 2, everyone is level 150. Hi, Zemuria! Let me give you that. Let me give you guys a shout out. Let me give you guys a shout out.
Welcome on in, Raiders! My name is Index Page.
Spirit of the library and patron of its namesake, may you find your book in this place. Today, we're exploring my favorite JRPG series of all time with Turk. The fuck was that?
Sorry, Stitch embodied me for a second. That or Gollum.
God, no! No!
Oh no, I'm turning into that alien from that Middleditch and Schwartz show. Oh god.
Also, Zemuria, thank you so much for the raid. It's so good to see you. If you need to grab something to eat or something to drink, please use the cafe in the library. Don't get any on the books. Also, we're just going over like some of the magic and all that right now. So Estelle, I kind of want to be water and earth with her, or water and time, so I can get Latier.
Yeah, Latier, Earthguard, and Wall are also absurd.
So, Estelle is gonna be like my tank and off healer until we get a proper healer.
We're thinking of the same one.
Yeah.
They are ridiculous.
EP cut? Super useful. Super useful on mages.
Especially, god, I forget just how much elemental value they gave the higher element quartz in this one, because it's like 3 elements each.
Also, heal, recover HP by walking?
Based?
Ah, Scent, an old favorite of mine.
So, Estelle, we're gonna go currently, earth, time, and water focus. But first, we're gonna open up some slots.
Oh, that sound is so satisfying. Ooh, forgot about that. Ooh.
Shara, why don't you give us more? Why don't you give us more? Shara? Shara? Shara?
Earned it.
Also, Bullet Hell Raid, what were you playing, Seth? You know, fuck it. Fuck it. Let's find out. Let's do a quick little mini shout out. That is the wrong letter. That is a Z, not an X. Toho Project? Ayo? Which one? Which one?
Every now and then, whenever I hear Toho, I think of that time that Toby Fox said it in a fully Japanese interview, and he said it in a Midwestern American accent just to fuck with people.
To who?
I love how much of a shitlord Toby can be.
It's so wild seeing the impact Starman.net has had on internet culture 20 years after the fact. Between him, Stephen George, Chugga Conroy, and several others. Goodbye, Estelle.
Joshua, help me!
Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help.
I forget, does Freddy make an appearance in Cold Steel? Like, is he the one that, like, gets attracted to Sharon? Or am I thinking of
No,
another
that's
character?
someone who has the same sprite to start. That's Anton.
Oh, right.
Never mention it.
Because I'm looking at Freddy, I'm like, yeah, that guy looks like the guy that gets attracted to Sharon. Nope, that's Anton.
Probably the same base assets,
Yeah.
I'd assume.
Like, to start.
Don't mention it. And good luck with that test of yours.
You did PCB, IN, MOF, SA, and UFO. Oh, God. I'm going to remember that you left behind. Try like this, Joshua.
Brain like a sieve, no she won't.
All your training has finally come down to this. Go in the sewer.
What's wrong, Estelle?
There's not going to be a paper test, right? Cassius drop you on your head as a child.
Well, yeah, but what's the relevance?
Yeah, and? Oh, divine Aetios, I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers.
So what you're actually saying is that you thought it was a paper test? No wonder you were acting all crazy back in the Orbital Factory.
Oh God, I love their dichotomy.
It's so good. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll be able to even graduate at all.
What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things?
Because I have to be the pessimist.
Also, I just remembered something. Even though 20 years have passed real time for us, between this game and the latest game, only roughly like 6, 7 years
8.
have passed? 8?
I believe right now in universe it is 1202 in
Right.
the in-game calendar, and Kuro 2 is 1210.
Right, I always forget, like, between Cold Steel 2 and 3, like, how many years passed, and it's like 3. I think it was.
Somewhere about there, yeah.
Because, like, that was the biggest time skip in the entire series. So far.
Until we get the 10-year time skip and Estelle comes on screen and has an eye patch and a beard. That is just, it's like clearly a fake clip-on Santa Claus beard that she's doing just for a joke.
I am a grizzled bracer now. And this is my boy wife, Joshua.
Joshua's just face-palming off to the side of the screen.
Has a plate of pancakes and just is like, come on.
Because this is something that they would, something Estelle would do. Like, when she's not being serious, she is a total, she's a total little shitlord.
And we love her for it.
Oh, Tear Bomb. AKA Potions.
Monster Guy. God, the Monster Guy does a good job. What's nice about this series is that you can actually investigate enemies off the start and actively see what their weaknesses are without having to do any like scanning or
Yeah.
fighting them over and over again.
Like,
The Monster Guy
you
in this
can
is just
scan enemies, but as you fight enemies, you naturally learn about them and you will start jotting notes down about them. That's one of the things I like about this game, too. Like, the
That didn't
characters
start,
jot
like-
down notes on monsters.
That didn't even start, I think, like that outright until 0. I think once you fight an enemy in this, they're just fully marked.
Oh!
Like any other drop and all that.
Alright, into the sewers we go. And
Don't
we're
forget,
gonna do
though,
our
this
first
is an
fight
exam.
in the first, after 90 minutes.
Oh, nostalgia. I'll explain what's up with the chests once we open up the first one.
Also, there's no map.
Gives me a recovery point or so. Let's use it to see if our HP and EP get recovered. Orbit charging stations are recovery points set up in dangerous areas. As a recovery point is approaching, mark will appear and 2 choices will be displayed by pressing the OK button. By selecting the rest option, all your stats will be restored.
This kind of blew my mind as a kid, because like as a kid, like Kingdom Hearts and all that, like you can't save without getting to a save point that also restores everything for you. But in this game, you can save whenever.
Yeah, like these are just for effectively just signaling that you probably should save, if anything.
Yeah, because whoop.
I said some controller tying. The cold steel kicking in, your brain's like, wait, this
Yeah.
is cold steel?
Yep.
Oh, that's right, Lon. But the one thing I do remember about Cold Steel the most is, I had Reen where he was able to crit with his, crafts and all that. And if I ran into a trash mob battle, I'd just be like, okay, you know what, fuck it, Gale. Crit, 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 crit.
By the end of Reverie, I had Areen doing his super moves at the start of every battle, killing every enemy, and recovering all of his craft points back.
Oh my god,
Immediately.
that's so useful. He's just like, okay, just get over with.
Yeah,
And then there's
give a little
Bacchus.
edge of your blind side. Monsters cannot be seen from far away. They'll become visible as you approach them. The conditions at the start of a battle will change depending on how monsters engage. Engaging an enemy from behind is advantageous, while being attacked from an enemy from behind is disadvantageous.
Really?
Oh,
the battle music.
Sophisticated fight. Ah. Battle order bar indicates who attacks first. It starts from the top and moves down.
Okay.
Now hit him hard and hit him dead.
Here's the thing about the Trails games.
The attack an enemy you may also use to move if you're using a mouse and click on that to empty location.
It is also kind of like the one big thing I love about the Trails games. Whereas in a regular JRPG, you're just standing in 2 lines and you just run, attack, and go back to where you were. Whereas in the Trails games, you'll see.
When an enemy is in range, an icon will appear on your cursor, selecting the unranged chart will move the character as close as it can, but no attack will be performed.
Like, Estelle could attack this character, but not this one, because her movement will not allow it.
This is an RPG where positioning matters, and it's so rare to find a turn-based one that's that without being an outright tactics game.
Also, agreed on that. Positioning is important for, like, positional attacks and whatnot. Another thing, currently this is a grid-based thing, but once we get to Cold, I don't know if it's, like, free move in Crossbow, or if it's still grid-based, but in Cold Steel it's, like, circle-based.
In Zero and Azure, it's still
Also,
that
if you
system.
choose to move and not attack, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, your turn is over.
So you can move for position, or go for the attack.
Oh, it's so cute seeing the starting series damage numbers. Only 42.
Bonk.
Numbers mean so much, but they get ridiculous by the end of this series at the moment.
God, you like jazz booklets?
I fucking love jazz.
Also, that enemy moved because it was attacked, because there's knockback.
Some attacks have less than others, but it's worth considering all the same because if you put enemies into a bad situation or a good situation, you might regret it. Specifically with one fight in Chapter 3 of this game from memory.
Now, when you say chapter 3, you mean... Oh, that's right, there is some voice acting in this game.
Yeah, the voice acting in this is limited entirely to combat marks, essentially. So, like, victory lines, Huss! And things like that. Some of the voice actors actively stick around for the entire series, but others get replaced. But are still actively in the series, just voicing other characters, usually.
I do know that in Cold Steel, you can choose your position before you attack. Whereas in this one, it's just, oh, you go in and attack.
Yep.
That's the rough thing about this one. Not even to mention fucking lack of master quartz.
Mmm, juicy bones. Great for stews. Oh, and this is where we get our arts tutorial. Arts are effective on enemies that are good at avoiding physical attacks. Arts also make long-range attacks possible that require time to be cast.
Or you could get Prince Oliver for his neutral special. He uses gun.
EP is consumed when arts are used. EP can be recovered by resting at inns, hotels, or by using charge stations and other items like an EP charge.
Also known as an ether.
Mmm, it tastes like blueberry. The arts are effective against foes that are difficult to hit with a weapon and those on which physical attacks have little effect. It takes time before arts are to be cast. Also, EP is consumed when arts are cast. All arts have an element. Determine the element most effective against your foe and use it.
I cannot wait until we get to the, fuck, I forgot what they were called. The Valkyries. What do they call themselves again?
Stahlritter.
Yeah, that's right. I was trying to think, it was something Ritter, and I just defaulted to Bleach and the Stern Ritter. I'm like, no, that's Bleach. It's a Stern Ritter? No, that's Bleach. Wait, is it the Stern Ritter? No, it's fucking Bleach!
There's also the Eisen Ritter, but that's a different thing in this
Yeah,
series.
the Eisen Ritter.
Yeah, casting can take a while, but depending on what you build for here in Sky 1 and 2, it can be absurd.
I do know that you can make a speed mage. Where, like, you can focus on nothing but time quartz and, like, they cast almost instantly. And you're just like, Soulblur, 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 Soulblur.
We're good to go.
And what's really nuts in this, Zero and Azure changed it a little bit, but the quartz in this that actively improve your casting ability, like the strength of it, is your healing quartz as well. So you can just automatically make anyone a good healer.
I remember doing that with, fuck, I forgot his name. Orange hair and Cold Steel.
Elliot,
Yeah, that's right. Fuck, I gotta
my son,
Elliot,
Crap,
also
Ted,
known as the heal bot.
but can be utilized instantly. Crap points are gained by dealing out damage received during battle.
And now we're gonna learn about crafts.
Crafts are character-specific skills, which, oh my god,
Basically, so crafts are things that you can't use without building up your craft points, and you build up craft points by smacking a bitch. You have to be waiting for
or
it.
getting smacked.
Sometimes you have to smack a bitch.
These get more and less useful depending on which game you're playing, but generally from Cold Steel on, they are really good.
Case in point, Reen.
Yeah.
Case in point, Reen with Helix against a boss. With the ability to crit on crafts, and Reen with Helix naturally having 60% chance to crit, fuck, he will tear bosses up with it. Dual Strike.
Worth noting, while
I'll
there
see you guys
are
later. I'll see
seven-
you.
What?
Yes, twice!
What's worth noting is, while enemies do have elemental efficacies actually listed when you're targeting them, here at the start of the game, they're only going to show the base 4 elements, because the later 3 elements are only notable in a few places at a time. And at that point, they're essentially considered 100% effective.
Yeah. The thing is, with these 3 other elements, time, space, and mirage, they really don't become relevant until later on. Currently we've got fire, earth, water, wind. It's usually not until like the second game in each series that the 3 other elements become more prevalent, and it's like, Oh, we've got an influx of time energy right now. Also, I can't believe I missed twice. God damn it, Joshua! What do I pay you for?
You paying me? By letting you live. Oh no, not again.
Hi, Billy. Ugh. Hi, Millie.
Hello.
Yo, you dirty rat.
That's that then. Let's move out.
That is Johnny on Bosch.
Yeah.
That is a young Johnny on Bosch.
2004, so he would have... This would have been not too long before or after he actually started being Ichigo, I think.
We're just gonna do a little bit of bullshit.
It's wild that... Like, I'm glad he still gets a lot of starring roles, but like he's a lot of just side characters now, usually.
I think that's because he doesn't want, like, a spotlight and all that.
Yeah, like Ichigo's his biggest thing now.
'Cause,
Alright,
like,
time to talk
he-
about
he-
chests.
He kind of...
Was everywhere, specifically between like 2007 and 2011.
Yeah, and he had the limelight as Ichigo, one of the main characters for the Big Three.
Yep.
Hi, Millie. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. How have you been? We're just playing some Trails in the Sky. We're gonna finish up the tutorial and maybe wrap up because my throat is already starting to feel it from all the talking.
Yeah, the early game's really text heavy. Reviving bomb. That revives you. The chest is empty because of you. Nice work, hero. So this is a thing the first 5 games do, and it was originally only the first 3. When they were translating the game effectively, they noticed that every chest had a unique "this chest is empty" text slot in the game's data, so they were able to make a unique joke for every single chest if you investigated a second time after the fact.
Oh my god. I never knew that.
It's
We're gonna be
so
doing
good.
that. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark.
A lot of them are puns. Some of them are jokes about the plot situation. Sometimes about the area they're in, respectively. They get really good. And the fan
Solo
translators.
1137. I think we encountered your other clone earlier. Zolo 1136. Oh, what a surprise! Another creepy thing. Oh, just wait, Estelle. Just wait until we encounter I believe they're called demons.
I think.
You know, those things from outside. Oh yeah, S-Crafts.
Get used
Also,
to
100
using
is the
these.
max in this game, right? For craft points.
I think 200's around as early as this one.
Oh,
I think at least. It's been about 2 years.
because I know that at 200 some characters get like super craft moves, like super
Yeah,
crafts.
Some of them get better ones. Some of them just get damage boosted.
Like how Fee's got different crafts, like for well, you can use your thing. Or, oh, right now we can choose to use S-Break. S-Break is like a special thing where, like, hey, you don't want the enemy to get their turn. Just S-Craft. Ignore the battle order.
It is a little clunky to use in Sky Trilogy from memory. But yeah, using these are your make or break. Either fuck them up while they're down moments, or clear the trash.
Yeah, this is Bailiff Smack That Man on the Penis.
Bailiff, whack his pee-pee.
Now press the break button. Press the break button.
I think that's circle. Or is it? I
Press-
know you can click on it too.
Oh, it's a directional button.
Yeah, that feels weird to go back to after not being after how many games now of being able to hold like R1 and pressing a button.
That man's been smacked on the penis. Bailiff, smack that man on the penis. I love that.
I feel
Also-
like any game would be improved by any given
Time for the
enemy
Getsuga
just screaming.
Tencho. Okay, not a Getsuga Tencho, but still.
That's that then. Let's move out.
God, all the music is just giving me the nostalgia.
I love this series' music on the whole. This is still my favorite victory theme in the series.
Agreed.
Not my favorite battle theme, though. I think that's probably Cold Steel 1's.
Give me what's in that red chest.
Yeah, generally, I think these games have some of the best tutorialization, especially when we get to like Cold Steel era on, about teaching you how the mechanics work. Falcom's pretty good about that.
Right, turn bonuses.
turn
I forgot
bonuses.
about these. Oh, this enemy now has a chance to cast, or now has a chance on hit to give you Vanish. What is Vanish,
Thankfully,
you might ask?
Thankfully, that's not much until the sequel.
What is Vanish, you might ask? Oh, it's this thing where you remove from the battlefield and you lose all of your EP.
And then you cry.
And then you cry.
Yeah, get used to paying attention to these. These are the make it or break it for your strategies otherwise. Because if you steal, you can use like your S-crafts or other moves to delay enemies to actively steal their bonuses, like the enemy that has an HP 10% recovery down there. Otherwise, you might want to target them first because you might want to take those for yourselves.
Gonna smack this man.
Learning to look to the left is a key element in all of these games.
Agree.
Metroid taught me well, and even then I still fucked up with that a lot.
So, like, if I choose to use clock up, he'll be all the way down there. But if I choose to attack and take out this guy, we can get Joshua onto that heal 10 by killing this thing. For example. Oh, he waited.
They're smart. Oh no, they're learning.
Yeah, Mac, yeah.
You know that gif of like the teddy bear slamming its head on a table and getting like pink sticky note eyebrows that are angry?
Yep.
But it's these things. Wow, hard mode shows its hands early. God damn.
You can use items instantly, by the way?
Yeah.
We're good
Because
to go.
using tier will take time to cast. Hard mode does not fuck around. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
No.
I can't reach him. I can't reach my himbo.
Thank God they're kind of stupid. Can you not?
We are many. We are here to hurt. Oh no, don't cast that!
God, I love some of the magic animations in later games.
There are times they get to
especially
be a
when Alyssa
little
gets some of her
lengthy.
magic animations. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Also, the one that I like about Alyssa is her bow operates on magic instead of attack. When I was first playing, I had to learn that. The hard way. Also, instant cast. There we go. Hi, Buttercup.
I always imagine. I don't know why. I always imagined a tear spell tasted like blueberries.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna come smack you with a bonus.
Oh, okay. I guess. Also, here's the thing about Sepitha. Here's the big thing about Sepitha, by the way. Hit them with multi-hit attacks, you get more Sepith.
Yep. That is so key to getting a lot of quartz in these games, or things like Trails from Zero. That's especially easy and important to do.
Let's move out.
Like, whenever I would get Reen's turn, and get like Sepith up, I would just like, you know what? Just casually look to the left, casually look to the right. I cast Gale.
It's also,
Also-
worth noting when it comes to.
Huh?
I know you go ahead first.
Remember what we were talking about? Being in a quartz drought.
Yep.
Water and time, huh?
Yep. Some enemies will only drop certain elements, which gets annoying in some cases when you're trying to grind. But on top of that, this is not a game you can easily do level grinding in. Because enemies in this series give diminishing returns as you level up, so once you reach a certain level, then their experience is
Yep.
halved and reduced even further with every level after that. Remember, Estelle, the mission is to search. I'm sure looking
Search and
inside those
retrieve
boxes
only.
is upon the objective.
Yeah, we are not supposed to look inside the boxes. You're not fun at all, Joshua. We can get away with teasing
Estelle?
easy cake.
If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means, be my guest.
Did you just say the F word?
Yep, fuck you. Opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic fail for the both of us. If this were a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the client. As long as they were nothing illegal, we would have no right to open them.
I know you're right, but I just can't help myself. Can I take a peek?
A child of instinct. If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Cheryl when we get back? But for now, we need to focus on getting on out of here.
No, first I need to look at this chest again.
If I look inside this chest again, you flunk! JK.
Also, I like the little symbols at the bottom. Like, I can hit the...
Oh yeah, there's a lot of times you can tell that this is like one of the last traditional computer RPGs out of Japan, at least in like the traditional ways they were built with the menuing and all that. I'm actually not sure if that's on the PSP version, but I guess I'll find out soon enough because I actually recently made my first eBay purchase where I ordered all 3 Japanese PSP game copies of these 3 games so I could have all of them physically in some form.
That's a flex.
It wasn't even that expensive. It was only like 42 US for all 3.
Still flex.
Because
Keep hitting the fucking wrong button.
these games were popular to the point where they had a lot of prints over in Japan compared to the US release of Sky 1 on PSP, which was very low print and is now
Also,
hard to
booklets.
find out 3 digits.
I'm just gonna be forward about this. Get used to seeing this screen a lot.
Yeah.
Get used to seeing this screen a lot because the fucking circle button, the fucking B button, or A button on for Nintendo game controller. Like the A button opens up this menu. Okay. Also, achievements here. When you go back to towns and all that, you can sometimes like get updated, like get the shit updated.
Yeah, for specifically the more side quests you do, the more bracer points we're gonna get. Which
How
we
about
can
check
use
the
to
rolling
upgrade our
thing?
domain. Which rolling thing?
The one on the left under memo.
Press left?
I am.
Circle? Or the back out? I don't remember. Well, what you could do, use the mouse and keyboard.
You know what? That's fucking smart of you. So, when you get certain levels of bracer points, you'll start to get this stuff.
That gladiator belt especially is so good.
The gladiator belt in every game is so good. Like, gladiator belt goes on Reen, gladiator belt goes on Estelle, gladiator belt goes on Lloyd. That is the main character's means of being somewhat of a Chad. Good work, you two. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. They're the real deal, alright. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. That was a close one.
I figured she would try and set us up like that.
Congratulations to the both of you. You have successfully passed your qualification test. You didn't really think something that simple would be a problem for us, did you?
So, Shara, what's in those boxes you had us get?
A gun.
Just opens the gun. Do 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 do. You'll never see it coming.
Oh, Estelle, get used to saying that. These days are going to last forever.
Yep.
Ah, the payment in Skyblood. Money is
Goddamn.
tight in the early games, honestly,
It is.
unless you go out of your way.
Money is kind of a fixed resource in the early games because enemies do not drop money, or they drop very, very little, as opposed to something like in Cold Steel where you have Mira up as a turn thing, and you can just
On top of
literally
that-
beat the shit. You can beat the money out of a motherfucker.
On top of that, in this game, enemies will only drop items and Sepith. In Cold Steel On, they start dropping the Sepith masses, which are distinctly only for selling at stores to
Yeah.
get some actual Mira and afford things.
So you've got Sepith Dust, which can be converted into Sepith, and Sepith Masses, which is too big to be used as Sepith, but can be sold to Orbital factories, which will process it, and they're like, okay, you know what, here's money. Hi, Anna. Yeah! We got one whole BP!
Bepis.
Bibbis.
Depending on how you handle a job. Great. I forgot about that.
Yep, there are very minor choices you can do in these, depending on just talking to someone else first that can add extra BP to your completion scores, and getting a high rank in this game is precise.
And you know what? That's why we have Turk here, because... Good God.
Yep.
Also, if we reach rank 1 in this game, does our rank reset in the second game?
I think they
Yeah.
actively have a dialogue note about that, but in this, it's our junior bracer ranking in specific. Whereas in
Okay, so it's like
junior-
junior rank 9 to 1, and then you're like, oh, you're an official bracer.
Yeah.
To the bone! And knowing Shara, it'll involve the whip. Oh god. Has she met you-know-who yet? Or not yet?
I'm assuming you know who in this case is blonde. That's not until the next chapter.
Okay. So we meet him in this game, but she doesn't meet him until the second game. Unless you mean like game chapter?
Yeah, in-game chapter.
Okay. Because remember, these games are called first chapter, second chapter, third chapter.
Which is so weird in
Right?
retrospect. And if memory serves, that's because I want to say Sky 1 and 2 and Cold Steel 1 and 2 are unique instances where they were essentially one script they cut in half,
Yeah.
rather than being developed as sequels initially.
Honestly, I like that they did that with 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 for Cold Steel. Because it's like... Because Cold Steel 1 happens over the course of like 7 months. Or 9 months. One of the two. Less than a year happens between Cold Steel. And Cold Steel 2 picks up right where Cold Steel 1 leaves off, and takes place over a month.
Yep.
So Cold Steel 2 is almost like the epilogue to 1, whereas Cold Steel 4 is the epilogue to 3. And they play out similar story beats. Oh god, I'm starting to feel it.
After this cutscene, I think there's a good save point to end off on.
Yeah. Give me what's inside!
Hello
It's a
there.
Butterfinger.
Hydra Tiger.
And then you try to grab it and Shara just slaps you. No one has a finger on my butterfinger.
All right, let's have a look.
It's the bracer symbol!
I want to eat it. It's a cookie.
The recommended playing order, really? I try to start with the first in the series, especially like when it's for a series like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are like, Nippon Ichi Software was because they started publishing the series with Cold Steel 3, tried to say Cold Steel 3 is a good starting point. It is not. People say Kuro's a good starting point. It's a better starting point than Cold Steel 3. It's not a good starting point overall. The only other good starting point besides Sky 1, I'd say, is Cold Steel 1, and that's just in the case you want to see what the series becomes mechanically, in the case you want to go, okay, will I like what it becomes kind of deal?
I will say this. My personal preference is you can play it at the start of any of the main series. Some people will say play Cold Steel 1 first, some people will play Sky first, some people will say play Kuro first. It's a matter of which chapter you want to start on and use that as your basis, and then look at the others as sequels or prequels. Or paralogs. As is the case with, like, I believe a Crossbell arc is happening at the same time as a Liberal arc.
Without talking too much about it,
Roughly, like, Crossbell 1 and 2...
Cold Steel 1 and 2 take place about at the same time as Zero, the latter part of Zero into Azure.
Okay. So, Cold Steel 1, 2, 0, and Azure, and then the Burl's arc is kind of like self-contained.
Yeah.
Oh, the argument is for doing the entire series in what they call the correct order? Oh, God.
Oh, dear God, I hate the way that sounds. No, it's probably people who say you can skip Sky 3rd.
People that say start on Sky 3rd or skip Sky 3rd, or, like, start Cold Steel 3, and it's like, no. You need to understand these characters and where they come from. If you want to start Cold Steel 1.
Like, you can do that with Ease, because Ease is a lot more disconnected on the whole. Like, there's references here and there, but it's largely just, alright, what prophecy has chosen Adel this time?
Yeah, Adel...
We've been employed at 16.
Adel gets involved in a lot of prophecies.
A lot of fans make a point of going, well, the first 5 letters of his last name are Christ, so...
That's true.
Oh, bless you, kitty.
Oh, kitty sneeze.
Yeah, my little Zelda sneezed.
Congratulations, you've gained employment.
I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed.
I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed up work that needs my immediate attention. I understand you have been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Shara, I just want to say thanks.
Likewise. I appreciate all the trouble you've gone through for us, Shara.
Don't mention it. Training new recruits is one of Bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago when your father, Cassius, trained me. So that's why you have so much respect for my dad, huh? There's actually more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. I saw your daddy without a mustache. It was cursed. Some people say he was born with a mustache. Sorry,
oh god, that makes me imagine that fucking Arnold movie where he gets pregnant. Oh, the baby Arnold.
Don't remind me of that one.
Junior has lived in the back of my brain forever, and if
Junior is the most Western version of the Omegaverse we will ever get. I feel Junior the movie is the most Omegaverse the West will ever get.
I see. I understand just enough about what that means to know I don't want to know the rest of what it means.
And Prague.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I do kind of like, their shadows turn before their models. If you notice that.
Yeah, that is kind of neat. The silver streak.
I just bought more land in the Omegaverse. God, Joey, god damn it. Why is it she holds Dad in such high esteem? God.
Sorry, that threw me off.
Diosio? Diosio? You
Yeah, that threw me off. Oh.
Man, Estelle, you don't know. You do not know. No good middle-aged man.
Huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would see him in that fashion.
Those who know versus those who don't know about Cassius.
Never mind. Let's hurry and head home. We should let Dad know we qualified as junior bracers.
This, though, is where we will be leaving off today's episode. Happy we started this series.
Yeah.
Maybe Wednesday next week?
I should be good for that.
If not, we can pick another day. But like I said, once I finish the Library of Ruin and Nuzlocke playthrough, we may have more days of this, or like we'll have longer days of this, or like we'll have a 5-hour sit down where it's just like let's beat the fucking shit out of Campanella.
Yeah, fuck him up.
I want that twink obliterated.
Ganondorf.
By who though? I might be your stereotypical chop body type, but I'm not exactly I might be your stereotypical hug body type, but I'm not exactly a top. I got a couple of exes I could call. Do you want me taking out to dinner first, or...
I want you to kill him! The Yzma and Krunk thing pointing at Cusco. What, you've not seen that meme? I gotta show you that meme later.
I wasn't ready for that.
YouTube will see you later. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.